Welcome everybody to tonight's matchup with the Chaska Hawks JV versus the visiting New Prague Trojans JV. The Hawks come in after a fine 3-2 win over the visiting New Ulm Eagles after playing good solid effort in all three zones, both offensively and defensively. Coming away with a nice 3-0 win, or 3-2 win. Tonight will be a nice home test against the New Prague Trojans, coming in after playing solid hockey over the last few games. This will be a true test to measure where both these teams are at this point in the season.
Fans, welcome to today's
Let's get ready for puck drop.
Between the New Prague Trojans and your Chaska Hawks.
As the players take their respective benches, getting a last-minute coaching. Referees will move to the face-off circle. Starters for New Prague in goal, Sam Prokopek, Hudson Herbeck at D, Cooper Diaz at D, number 12, Jaden Manley at forward, Brody Voshepka at forward, and Aiden Estream. For the Chaska Hawks in net, Nolan Winnings will start. In the face-off circle, we've got Gersheski, Tobin, and Sorensen on the first line, with Tyson Herman and Hallman back for defense. Off the face-off, New Prague gains control into the offensive zone. Move around, they try to center the puck through, can't quite connect through. Good defensive effort there. Push it wide, shot right out slot. Good save by Nolan Winnings. That's a good shot there by Voshepka. New Prague keeps the puck in as they drop it deep. Herman chips it aside. Picked up by Gersheski. Over to Tobin. Tobin can't quite clear the zone. Turn, fires it back into the zone. Herman chips it up. Over to Sorensen. Looks to clear the zone. Can't quite do so. Picked up on the far side. Shot right there on net by Manley. Saved there by Nolan Winnings with 14-17 remaining here in the first period. Good offensive pressure by New Prague as they come out of the gates. Cooper Swanson steps into the face-off circle, opposite of Caleb Schmitz. Swanson with the face-off win. Puck behind the net to Sumstead. Sumstead wraps it around. Funny bounce right out front. Young picks it up on the far side. Moves it up to Erickson. Erickson with a nice saucer pass over to Anderson. Anderson with a shot high and wide. Puck picked up behind the net by Swanson as he turns. Battle below the goal line. Reverse course there by Schmitz. Schmitz turns. Moves it over to Gilbertson. Gilbertson clears the zone back to Schmitz. Schmitz enters the zone with speed. Tries to put a move on Young. Young takes him below the goal line. Brings it back out to the point. Gilbertson looks, turns, works his way towards the slot. Comes in with a backhand right on Winnings. Loose puck right in front, rebound. Puck still loose. Puck chipped into the corner. Young picks it up, fires it behind the net. Over to Sumstead. Sumstead tries to chip it past, or Anderson tries to chip it past Gilbertson. Young picks it up with 13-15 remaining here in the first period. Good defensive effort by New Prague through the neutral zone. Blast right out there in front to Herbeck. Misses shot high and wide. Puck bouncing out in front by Winnings. Keeps it in. Shot from the point, deflected into the corner. Picked up here by Nauman. Hawks having a hard time clearing the zone, trying to get a line change. Gieske manages to finally do so. This should be icing. This will give the Hawks the needed line change. New Prague continues with a high offensive pressure here in the first period. Gieske steps into the face-off circle with Manley. Referees wait for Winnings to get set. They're all ready now. Gieske steps in with Manley. Puck controlled by the Hawks. Greer tries to get it over to Wacker. Wacker can't quite exit the zone. Chipped back by Greer. Battle on the far boards. Stepped up, picked in. Nice shot there on goal by Herbeck. Wacker gets a clear. It's a foot race to try to chip it free. Good defensive effort. Good play there by Wacker to pick up the puck. Deep in the offensive zone. Diaz back. Good save. Puck out front. Picked up by Schwartz. Schwartz tries to dump it out front. Can't quite connect. Willis turns over to Greer. Greer. Saucer pass. Cross ice. Picked up here by Diaz. He dumps it in. Willis picks it up behind the net for the Hawks. New Prague turns with a nice pass out front. It's a one-timer. Great play there by Voshepka on a nice centering pass by Estrom. Estrom picked up the puck on a turnover behind the net. Great centering pass right out to Brody Voshepka. Voshepka puts it right past Winnings for the first goal of the game. At 11:53 here in the first period on an even strength goal. New Prague Trojans take a 1-0 lead. Krzyzewski steps into the face-off circle. The face-off win over to Tobin. Tobin chips it down. Puck down below the goal line. New Prague turns, reverses course. Nice clean exit of the zone over to Voshepka. As he works his way around Tyson Herman, he gets a nice backhand there on Winnings. Winnings with the save.
Chaska from Estrom, 3:03 on the first period.
Sorensen clears the zone. Picked up by Tobin. Tobin turns, fires it towards the middle. Just out of the reach of Krzyzewski. Nice defensive save there by Estrom. Puck comes all the way down. It's on net. 11:08 remaining in the first period. Puck brought out, intercepted by Tobin. Tobin with a nice outlet pass. Sorensen tries to maintain the neutral zone with some speed. Turnover. Hawks dump it deep. Voshepka here on the near side. He's got no support, so he dumps it in deep. Young picks up the puck behind the net, avoids the check of Estrom. Good clean breakout there by the Hawks as he dumps it on line. There's Prokopek with the save. Puck's cleared by the Trojans. 10:26 remaining here in the first period. Puck bounces high, good play. Picked up by Swanson. Swanson picks it up and dumps it deep. New Prague tries to control, reverses course on the far side. Young steps up with a good body check. Put Krokak on his backside. Swanson turns, reverses course, tries to get a shot out front, can't quite connect. Erickson there. Reverses course out the defender, not there. Good play by Krokak to get on down, create some offensive pressure. Puck's loose right in front. Puck's having a hard time getting it out of the slot area. Young picks up the puck, reverses course over to Sumstead. Sumstead just out of reach, puts a good body check on Schmitz. Puck pass out front, just out of the zone. New Prague will have to reset here. They turn, good pass here in the neutral zone up to Dunham. Dunham intercepted here at the line. Schwartz picks it up, dumps it deep. Good back and forth action here in the middle of this first period. Trojans clear. Picked up by Krokak as he chips it all the way down. Winning steers it aside over to Willis. Willis chips it over to Greer. New Prague keeps the puck deep behind the goal line. Willis picks up the body. Puck's chipped loose. Greer pushes it aside. Schmidt takes control on the near side. Stolen over by Highland. Highland over to Wacker. Wacker dumps it deep. Prokopek behind the goal. Stops. Puck's cleared out. Good pinch play by Greer to keep the puck in. Highland with a nice move into the slot. Can't get the shot off in time. Willis. Good communication with Greer as they work the puck around. Wacker turns. Good defensive play here. Tobin intercepts here in the neutral zone as he steps up on the near side, takes a check, maintains control of the puck, takes it deep, looking for some help as he works the puck behind the net. Good defensive effort there by Schmidt as he dumps it out. This is going to go all the way down. It's not going to be offsides due to Chaska centering the puck. 7:49 remaining here in the first period. Willis tries to dump it across the middle, intercepted there. Good defensive effort. Wrapped around the far side to Tobin. Tobin tries to wrap it out of the zone. Good play there by Schwartz. Bring it out. New Prague will have to reset here in the neutral zone as they dump it down deep below the goal line. Picked up by Hallman. Over to Willis. Willis chips it up to the point. Can't clear the zone. Good sidestep by Coultier. Puck dumped out front. Sorensen picks up the puck. Needs some help. He's got Gershevsky racing down the middle. Shot on net. Forcing Prokopek to push it aside. This is going to be a cross-check penalty at a 7:01 remaining here in the first period on New Prague. This will be 2 minutes for cross-checking to Zachary Gilbertson. This will give the Hawks their first power play opportunity. Luke Sorensen steps into the face-off circle opposite of Caleb Schmidt. Puck controlled by the Hawks. Gershevsky from the point fires. Can't quite a good body on it to tip it in front. New Prague, this is good play by Schmitz to eat time off the clock. Good play by the Trojans to dump it deep. The Hawks are on the power play here. Good play by Swanson as he works his way towards the slot. Tobin there for the shot. Good save there by Prokopek. Those skirmish in front with 6:32 remaining. 1:31 remaining in the penalty. The defender pushed one of the Hawks into their own goaltender. Hence no penalty. Face off by Sorensen, dumps it right up front. Swanson can't quite get a stick on it. Good play on the far side for the Hawks to maintain control. Gershevsky at the point, turns, works it along the far side. Good play by Sorensen to work his way into the slot. Couldn't get the slot shot off. Good defensive effort there by Estrom. Trojans dump it all the way down. Herman picks up the puck behind the net. Leaves it for Gershevsky. Gershevsky stops. 6:05 remaining here in the first period. 1:02 remaining in the penalty for the Trojans. Gershevsky brings it down. He's looking for some support. Looking for the Hawks to set up. Hawks get a line change as they work their way through. Pass right out front. Schwartz couldn't quite get a stick on it. Great quick shot by Schwartz. Good kick save there by Prokopek. Schwartz has to be careful with his stick in the front slot. Good play by Schwartz to step up. There's going to be a Gershevsky goes to get a line change. Puck brought here in front by Sumstead as he reverses course over to Young. Young fires it over to Schwartz in the center. Tip just wide. Hawks maintain control behind the net, looking to center that pass in front. Tobin, good body check there by Herbeck. Sorensen maintains control on the far side. Over to Tobin. Tobin tries to pass it up through to Sorensen. Sorensen dumps it in front. Steers side by Prokopek. That'll be the end of the Trojans penalty. Puck's all the way down. Schmitz continues to keep the puck in the zone. This will be offsides on the Trojans at 4:46 remaining here in the first period. Trojans with a 1-0 lead. On the goal by Shepka. Schmidt steps into the face-off circle. Face-off win. Some said steps up, dumps it all the way in. Colton Wacker on the far side to pick up the puck for the Hawks. Young steps up, pinch point, keeps the puck in the zone. Steps up, fires. Nice save there by Prokopek. Hawks maintain the zone as they dump it deep. Played by Coultier. Schmidt. Control on the near side. Highland picks up the puck. Good battle there by Gilbertson. Come away with it. Another step up by Young. Keeps the puck in the zone. Good pressure here by the Hawks. Creating some turnovers in the offensive zone. Picked up by Schmidt. Schmidt turns. He's got a 2-on-1 opportunity and he shoots and he scores. Hagen stepped in. A great give and go play by Schmitz to Hagen. And Hagen capitalizes on that shot with 3:53 remaining in the first period. That was great awareness by Caleb Schmitz as he raced down on the far side. Creating a great opportunity for Hagen, and Hagen puts it by Winnings to take a 2-0 Trojans lead. Swanson steps in the face-off circle with Schmitz. Battle in the neutral zone. Anderson chips it over to Erickson. Erickson dumps it back.
Scoring for the Trojans.
Nauman dumps the puck deep.
Brooks Hagen. Assist from Caleb Schmidt and Zach Gilbertson.
Anderson tries to clear the zone. Puck's chipped down. It was tipped. Brody Erickson there. Good forecheck pressure. Reversed by Herbeck as he wraps it around. Good clean exit there. Schmidt, again, with lots of foot speed, works his way around. He's trying to work his way around Greer. Good defensive effort by Greer to steer him right into the corner. Erickson picks up the puck. He's got Anderson on the near side. He dumps it deep. Hawks chase. Anderson steps in. Battle on the far boards. Puck kept in by Willis as he dumps it down. Cloutier keeps the puck in. Works his way across the ice. Good play by Gershesky. Create the turnover in the offensive zone. New Prague exits. Battle into neutral zone. Picked up by Dunham. Dunham works his way. Fires. Saved by Winnings. Good play. Good physical check behind the boards. Or behind the play from Greer. Hawks clear the zone. New Prague dumps it back deep. 2:15 remaining here in the first period. Trojans with a 2-0 lead. Puck reversed out front. Here's Krokak as he turns, fires. Krokak, sorry. Tobin works his way into the middle. Good defensive effort there by Herbeck. Go ahead and knock the puck off Tobin's stick. Followed up by Boshepka. Krzyzewski picks it up, he turns. He's got some open space through the center ice. Brings the puck into neutral zone, off to Tobin. Tobin back to Krzyzewski. Can't quite connect on the pass. Picked up here by Diaz. Diaz turns, fires on net, deflected into the corner by Tyson Herman. Diaz picks up the puck behind the net. Turns. Good play here in the corner by Estrom. Estrom working his way into the slot, can't get the shot off. Good defensive effort there by the Hawks. Estrom bounces across, tries to dump it through. Herman picks up deep. Boshepka with good forecheck pressure almost creates a turnover. Hawks manage to clear the zone, 1:03. This won't be icing. Prokopek chips it all the way up to Boshepka. Schmidt dumps it deep. 53 seconds remaining here in the first period. Puck just clears the zone. Levi Gieske there with speed. Picks it up. Stops, looks, center of the pass, can't quite connect on the pass. Voshepka steps up, he fires high and wide. 35 seconds remaining here in the first period. Good play by Young to step up and stop the Voshepka centering pass. Young wraps it around the boards. Picked up by Highland. Highland can't quite clear the zone. It's dumped deep again. 18 seconds remaining here in the first period. Young back to Sumstead. Sumstead wraps it around over to Wacker. Wacker chips it through the free. There wasn't a Hawks available player right there. Young takes quite a check from Hagen. Gieske steps up. And that'll do it for our first period of action. At the end of the first period, the Trojans have a 2-0 lead on 9 shots on net. On Winnings, Winnings with 7 saves. At the other end, Sam Prokopka, Prokopek with 6 saves. Action was controlled right out of the gate by the Trojans as they looked to maintain offensive control. 2 goals in the first period were by New Prague, 1 at 11:53 in the first period, an even strength goal by Brody Voshepka with an assist from Aidenis Estrom. The second goal was by Brooks Hagen at 3:53 remaining in the first period on a great pass by Caleb Schmitz on a 2-on-0. We'll now go take a break as we resurface and get prepared for our second period. Welcome back, everybody, as we begin to get ready for our second period. First period of play after 15 minutes was good action by New Prague right out of the gate to create offensive pressure. That pressure resulted in the first goal by Brody Voshepka at 11:53 on an even strength goal on a beautiful pass from Aidnis Estrom. Pressure continued throughout the first period, but more back and forth action. Good play by both goaltenders. Second goal of the period was by Brooks Hagen at 3:53 remaining on a beautiful 2-on-1 opportunity with Caleb Schmidt setting it up on a great dash down the left side and a nice pass out front for the easy one-timer pass winnings. One penalty in that first period on number 37, Zachary Gilbertson for New Prague. A 2-minute cross-checking penalty. Grishevsky steps into the face-off circle, controlled by New Prague. Tobin steals, exits the zone. Herman over to Hallman. Hallman. Sorensen chips it up. Can't quite get it past the defenders for New Prague. Right out of the gate, good offensive pressure here again by the New Prague. Grishevsky picks up the puck in the neutral zone as he turns. He's got Tyson Herman on the far side. Herman with a nice shot. Nice save there by Prokopek. Chipped over, Grishevsky behind the net. Takes a big body check. Puck wrapped along the boards. New Prague couldn't quite exit the zone. Trojans turn. Here's Estrom. Good outlet pass over to Voshepka. Voshepka dobs the check by Tobin. Dumps it deep into the zone. Hallman picks it up. Tries to exit the zone. Good tip there by Estrom to keep the puck in the zone. Battle into the neutral zone. Here's Krokak as he picks it up on the near side. Dumps it deep. Picked up behind the net by Dunham. Trojans look to work the puck around the perimeter. Dump back deep. Hallman picks it up. Puck battle on the near boards. Here's Schmitz, turns away with the puck. Intercepted by Sorensen. Sorensen works his way down. Can't get by Schmitz. Good play by Schmitz there. Dodge a check by Sorensen. Maintains control of the puck deep in the zone. Great clean outlet. Picked up here by Krokak. Krokak works. Loses control into the corner. Young picks up the puck, reverses over to Sumstead. Sumstead wraps it high. Off the glass into the netting for a stoppage in play at 12:59 remaining in the second period. Trojans with a 2-0 lead here. Shots are 9 for the Trojans, 7 for the Hawks. Cooper Swanson steps into the face-off circle, controlled by the Hawks. Sumstead wraps it around to Young. Young over to Erickson. Can't quite clear the zone. It's dumped deep. Sumstead picks it up below the goal line. Turns, fires. Anderson with a nice centering pass. Swanson can't maintain control of the puck. Puck's turned, fired. Good play by Manley there to pick up the puck in the slot area. Good play by Tobin. Swanson over to Erickson. Erickson chips it deep. Hawks get a line change after a long defensive effort. Puck's raced all the way down. Winnings picks it up. Sumstead wraps it around. Good intercept there on the far side by the Trojans. Puck's chipped into the corner. This looks like it'll be a hand pass on the Trojans, creating a stoppage in play at 12:09 remaining here in the second period. Trojans picked up right where they left off there at the end of that first period with some good offensive pressure. Levi Gieske steps into the face-off circle, opposite Caleb Schmitz. Puck chipped forward, controlled by Trojans. Good clean exit out of the zone. Picked up here by Estrom. Estrom works his way. Oh, open spot right there for Schmitz in the middle. No back checker there to cover Schmitz. Had a nice one-timer, just steered it just wide. Puck's picked up on the far side. Shot on net by Gilbertson, saved by Winnings. 11:49 remaining here in the second period. Schmidt steps into the face-off circle with Gieske, maintains control, moves the puck beside, works his way around out to the perimeter. As they move the puck over, here's Gilbertson. Back over to Coutier. Coutier with a shot, saved there by, nope, puck still loose by Winnings. Highland picks it up on the far side, exits the zone, just out of the reach of Schwartz. Schwartz works his way in. Body check there on Coutier to get control of the puck deep below the goal line. Good individual effort there by Schwartz. Picked up by Grzeski. Grzeski picks it up, reverses course, turns, trying to dodge Schmidt's puck out to Schwartz. Schwartz couldn't quite get a backhand off in time. Schmitz picks it up, chips it up to the wing. Estrom tries to clear, can't quite do so. Willis steps in, keeps the puck, dumps it deep, tries to wrap it through the neutral zone, can't quite do so. Grzeski with the steal. Wraps it around, no wing there to help pick it up for the Hawks, so good exit there by the Trojans as they move across to Estrom. Stolen by Tobin. Tobin tries to chip it in. Defensive effort there by Gilbertson, get in the way. Prevent the deep penetration. Picked up Tobin. Tobin fires towards the net, deflected. Greer steps up, fires it into the corner. Picked up behind the net by Sorensen. Nobody in front for the Hawks. Shot on net by Prokopek. Puck's picked up, chipped all the way down. At 10:25 remaining, that'll be icing by the Trojans. Face off deep below the goal line. Prokopek stops on that loose puck at 10:21. Okay, we'll give it a shot. Grzeski steps into the face-off circle, opposite of Manley. Manley with a face-off win. Good forecheck pressure by Sorensen, forcing forcing Diaz to turn. Good play by the Hawks to keep the puck in the zone. Good pass up, chipped all the way up, creating a one-on-one opportunity. Great play here by Manley. Manley with a shot. Great save there by Nolan Winnings. Manley with a great individual effort to pick up the puck in the neutral zone, work his way around the defender, giving himself a breakaway and Winnings there for a good stop. 9:56 remaining here in the second period. Trojans with a 2-0 lead. Face-off controlled by the Hawks, exited down to the zone, chipped all the way down. Prokopek was out. This will result in an icing play. The action's been pretty swift, back and forth today. Face off by Swanson. Swanson controls, back to Young. Young picks it up on the behind the goal line, chips it out to Erickson. Good play by Swanson to pick it up in the slot area, creating an exit of the zone. Here's a good play by Dunham. Dumps it down, battle on the near boards. Swanson picks it up over to Young. Young. Swanson battle for the Hawks. Puck brought out by the Trojans, kept in. Gilbertson keeps the puck in, drive it deep. Shot there on net, Winnings with the save. Young wraps it over to Sumstead. Sumstead looks, fires over to Anderson. Bauer Anderson clears the zone. Trojans maintain control through the neutral zone. Here's Krokak. Dumps it deep. Sumstead picks it up below the goal line. Good forecheck pressure, creating a turnover by the Schmidt. Anderson manages to chip it free and clear the zone. Turned around by Gilbertson. Gilbertson looks, reverses course into the neutral zone. Here's Hagen. Tries to dump it deep, doesn't quite get it deep enough. Young picks up the puck. Flips it across, tries to connect with Schwartz. Bouncing puck. Good play by Gieske to pick up the puck behind the net. Chipped out front. Stepped in by Willis. Willis with the shot on net. Can't quite get there. Good defensive play there by Schmitz. Gieske turns, fires just wide. Schwartz picks up the puck behind the net. Gieske, Schwartz, and Schmitz battle below. Schmitz comes away with the puck. Good exit out of the zone. Good individual effort as he races down on the far side with a shot. Winnings there with a nice save. With 7:52 remaining here in the second period. Great individual effort there by Caleb Schmitz. Get the puck free deep below his goal line, bring it all the way down the right side, get a nice shot on net. Gieske steps into the face-off circle, controls the puck. It's wrapped all the way around. This looks like it's going to be a penalty for cross-check on Levi Gieske. That's 7:46 remaining here in the second period. This will give the Trojans their first power play opportunity on the 2-minute Levi Gieske cross-checking penalty. Manley steps into the face-off circle with Cooper Swanson. Puck controlled by the Trojans. Turns. Voshepka. Can't quite get it through. Herbeck dumps it back. Herbeck with the puck at the point. Dumps it down to Voshepka. Voshepka cross ice pass. Side steps. Shot from the point. Good play there. Can't quite get enough wood on it there. It was Diaz. Diaz picks it up on the far side. Dumps it down. Picked up by Estrom. Back to Diaz. Out to the point here, Herbeck. Herbeck dumps it deep. Good defensive effort here by the Hawks, keeping the puck wide. Not allowing for any shots. Voshepka keeps working from the point. Shot from the point here by Herbeck, wide. Good play by the Hawks to continue to get that external pressure. New Prague. Puck exits the zone. Shot tipped in front by Greer. Put right on net. Looks like the net's off its post, so it'll create a stoppage in play with 53 seconds remaining here in the first period, or second period. Crazy shot from the point off the side of Lucas Greer. Ended up right off the post, creating a bouncing puck out front. Lucky for the Hawks, net came off its moorings to create a stoppage in play. Sorensen steps in the face-off circle with Schmitz. Schmidt with the face-off win, but the Hawks control. They kick it all the way down. 47 seconds remaining in the Chaska penalty. Good individual effort by Marco Tobin. Taking more time off the clock for the Hawks. Picked up by Schmidt. Schmitz turns as he looks to fire in the slot. Nice shot. Tipped off. Stick by Winnings high up into the net at 6:13 remaining. 28 seconds remaining in the cross-checking penalty. Hawks doing a fine defensive job on keeping the puck around the perimeter, limiting the number of shots on net. Face-off win by the Trojans as they step up. Good play by Tobin, again, to create some forecheck pressure in the turnover. Puck's chipped all the way down, 17 seconds remaining on the New Prague power play. Puck's reversed. Here's Cloutier as he brings it up. Steps across the middle. Can't get the puck deep. Chipped up, good step-up play by Tyson Herman. Bouncing puck into the slot. Puck shot, tipped up by Herman, high into the net. Dunham was right in the slot. Had a nice opportunity to get a shot off, but it tipped high into the net by Tyson Herman for a stoppage in play. That'll end the Chaska power play, or the Chaska penalty. Back to even strength. Cooper Swanson steps into the face-off circle. Swanson with a face-off win, controlled by the Hawks, chipped right off the front of the net. Puck's loose and high top of the circles. Some said Bouncing puck, wraps it over to Erickson. Erickson can't quite clear the puck out of the zone. Kept in, shot from the point, tipped right in front. Nauman with a shot out the point. Gilbertson over to Nauman. Nauman takes a check as he dumps it deep. Sumstead wraps it around over to Anderson. Good play by the Trojans to keep the puck in as they wrap it back deep into the zone. Puck into the defensive zone is a clear by the Hawks as they battle in through the neutral zone, dumped in by Bauer Anderson. Good play by the Trojans to keep it from getting too deep. Puck picked up by Owen Sumstead. As he exits the zone, he's got Young. Good pressure there by Gieske to put the body check on. Young misses the puck in his effort to get a good body check. Up to the point, Bauer Anderson with a shot on net. Prokopek with a shot with the save with 4:22 remaining. Good rush by the Hawks there to get the puck deep, trying to create some forward check pressure, created a turnover. Back out to Anderson. Anderson with a shot on net. No one in front there to be able to go ahead and create offensive opportunity. Face-off circle with Grashevsky. Puck controlled by the Trojans. Chip it all the way down. Estrom there. Picks up the puck. Willis wraps it around. Puck kept in by Schmidt. It's wrapped back around. Battle on the near boards. Estrom picks up control as he works his way on the perimeter. Wraps it back out to Herbeck. Herbeck dumps it back down to Schmidt. Schmidt up to the point. Shot. Puck's tipped free. And that'll be the second goal by Voshepka today. On the loose puck in front, chips it in with 3:45 remaining here in the second period. Good pressure there by the Trojans to get another rebound opportunity to put the puck past Winnings. Trojans gain control as they look to pass across. Schmidt brings it into the zone, stops, turns, leaves the puck for Estrom. Estrom works his way low around the net, looking for some open spot here in front. Here's Herbeck, fires it towards the net. Winnings there with the save. The Trojans have really opened up the offensive shots here in the second period. Through with 3 minutes and 18 seconds remaining. They have 11 shots on net this period compared to the Hawks' 2. Grashevsky with the face-off. Puck controlled by the Trojans. Grashevsky picks up the puck behind the net. Chips it out to Tobin. Can't connect on the pass. Tobin had an opportunity to try to break free. Couldn't quite get a stick on it. Puck's high off the net. Bouncing puck controlled there by Gilbertson. Fires it into the zone. Tobin reverses course with Grashevsky. Puck's chipped into the zone. Tyson Herman over to Sorensen. Sorensen turns. He's got Grashevsky right in front. Grashevsky with some speed. He looks across. Can't complete the across-ice pass to Tobin. Right in front. Grashevsky had an opportunity to get a fire. He turns and fires. It's just wide. Holman steps up, takes an elbow to the face. Puck's chipped all the way down. This should be icing. This will create a stoppage in play at 2:21 remaining here in the second period. Cooper Swanson steps into the face-off circle with Caleb Schmidt. Face-off win. Young with a quick shot. Anderson was there, couldn't quite tip it. Good play by Anderson to get in front, create some traffic. Good pinch by Sumstead on the far side. Trojans managed to exit the zone. It's picked up here by Nauman as he turns, pushes it towards the net. Puck kept in by the Trojans. Puck's flipped high up into the net, creating a stoppage in play with 1:56 remaining here in the second period. Caleb Schmitz has had a fine game for the Trojans so far. Steps into the faceoff circle with Cooper Swanson. Swanson with the faceoff win. Sumstead wraps it around to Young. Young over to Brody Erickson. Brody Erickson picks it up. Swanson can't quite catch the bouncing puck. Schmitz turns for the Trojans. Can't quite mark it through the neutral zone as Gilbertson steps up. Young steps up, keeps it in the zone. Good forecheck pressure by the Hawks, but they can't get the puck deep, so Schmitz exits the zone, works his way wide. Puck's controlled through the neutral zone, bouncing puck. Shot on net, just wide. 1:20 remaining here in the second period. Swanson picks it up on the far side, dumps it deep. Anderson in to retrieve on the far side, dumps it towards the front. Nobody there to quite pick it up. Schmitz with the intercept. Schmitz has really been a 200-foot player today. Puck's chipped loose. Sumstead picks it up behind, chips it up. This will be delayed offsides on the Trojans. They'll need to reset. Young picks up the puck behind the net. Looks for the far pass to Erickson. Erickson tries to chip it across the middle. Can't connect with Schwartz. Young with a good outlet pass to Highland. Highland brings it over along the side. Steps up along the boards with Estrom. Sumstead picks it up deep behind the goal line. Over to Young. Puck chipped out front. Young picks it up. Looks. Tries to saucer pass into neutral zone. Clears the zone. Can't connect on the bouncing pass. Puck picked up here. Shot just wide. Good play by Manley. Pick up the loose puck. Manley picks up the puck on a loose bouncing puck. And he brings it over. Just shot wide. Follow up by Voshepka. Puts it high into the net with 17 seconds remaining here in this second period. Schwartz steps into the face-off circle. Puck controlled by the Trojans as they work it out to the point. They look as they try to pass it across. Here's Gilbertson, fires. Defensive effort, good block there in the slot. Wacker picks up the puck, dumps it deep. That'll be the end of our second period. A lot of good back and forth action here in that second period. New Prague was clearly the aggressive team, having 11 shots on net to Chaska's 3, creating plenty of opportunity, one capitalizing on a nice play from Voshepka at 3:45 remaining here in the second period to take a 3-0 lead. One penalty here in that second period by Levi Gieske at 7:46 for cross-checking. It did not result in any goals by the New Prague Trojans. So both teams exiting the second period are both 0-1 on the power play opportunities. With that, we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back for our third period action. Welcome back, everybody, as we prepare for the third period. A quick game summary so far. In the first period, New Prague came out firing in that first period in the first 5-6 minutes before the Hawks really started picking up the pace. Put a lot of shots on net early on, managed to pick up one goal by Prague Chaska at 11:53 remaining in that first period. Back and forth action throughout that first period, resulting in a second goal by New Prague by Brooks Hagen at 3:53 remaining on a beautiful pass from Caleb Schmitz to create the 2-0 lead after the end of the first period. In that second period, Vashepka again scored his second goal of the game with about 3:45 remaining on a beautiful shot that just got by Nolan Winnings. Total shots in that second period was 11 shots on net by New Prague, 3 by the Chaska Hawks, giving New Prague a total of 20 for the 2-period total and 9 for the Hawks at the end of that second period. Players take their place on their respective benches. Referees are ready to drop the puck. Let's get ready for some third period action. Brecken brings steps into the face-off circle with Manley. Puck chipped in by Sorensen. Hawks try to contain through the neutral zone. Tobin tries to dip it deep, can't quite do so. Willis keeps the puck in play. Tobin cuts to the outside, fires it towards the middle. Brink is just out of reach. Good exit here by Estrom as he brings it in. Estrom fires, high shoulder shot, deflected right off into the corner by Winnings. Good play out front. Brink picks it up, chips it off high off the glass. This will result in an icing play with 14:22 remaining here in the third period. Hawks look to jump out and get on the board here early to create some momentum. But the Trojans have played very solid defensive hockey tonight. Brink steps into the face-off circle with Caleb Schmitz. Face-off controlled by the Hawks as they wrap it around Tobin. Can't clear the zone. Picked up by Schmitz behind the net. As he works his way down, he reverses course. No one there for the Trojans. Brink picks up the puck. Tries to clear it up over Sorensen. He chips it deep. Here's Prokopek as he moves the puck forward up to DS. DS works its way through the neutral zone. Can't connect. Holman picks it up. Fires over to Sorensen. Sorensen over to Tobin. Tobin pass at the line. Doesn't get deep entry, but it's picked up here by Dunham. Dunham fires high, and that'll be a nice glove save by Nolan Winnings at 13:39 remaining here in the third period. Jaden Manley steps in the face-off circle opposite of Cooper Swanson. Hawks gain control. Bauer Anderson with a nice exit, dumps it all the way down. This will be icing. Wasn't quite past the red line. It'll create a reset with 13:30 here in the third period. Swanson steps into the face-off circle opposite of Manley. Manley controls the face-off win. Shot from the point, tipped wide. Puck chipped out front. Trojans can't connect. Puck's deep. Young reverses course over to Sumstead. Sumstead picks it up over to Bauer Anderson. Anderson can't maintain the pass. Young picks it up. Chipped over to Brody Erickson. The Hawks can't clear the zone. Cooper Swanson wraps it around over to Sumstead. Sumstead reverses course, takes an odd bounce off the dasher boards. Back to Young. Young up to Erickson. Erickson with a nice pass over to Swanson. Swanson's up to Anderson. Anderson loses his footing, takes a heavy check. Swanson there picks it up, shoots it just wide. Picked up on the far near side by Sumstead. Over to Young. Young cuts to the center. Lost in the skates of Swanson. Picked up by Jake Hyland as he dumps it deep. Hawks looking to get a line change. Cloutier turns, fires. Trojans managed to clear the zone. Greer over to Wacker. Intercept there by Wacker as he takes it deep. Good forecheck pressure there. Dumps it out front. He had Highland, but couldn't connect on the pass. Gieske over to Willis. Willis turns, looks, fires it deep into the corner. Picked up there by Gilbertson. Gilbertson turns, evades the check of Highland, moves it across over to Estrom. Estrom's got Voshepka as he moved toward the zone. Couldn't connect. Good defensive effort there. Hawks clear the zone. Jake Highland picks up the puck. Good physical effort to drop the puck deep. Gieske with a hip check on DS. DS turns, picks up the puck. Clear exit of the zone. Good play by Wacker to create the turnover in the neutral zone. Over to Willis. Willis steps up. He's looking for some help. The Hawks get a line change. DS clears the point. Tobin picks it up in the neutral zone, dumps it over. Brink on the far side, keeps it in. Good play by Luke Sorensen to keep the puck in. Manages to just chip it free. Greer. Battle in the neutral zone as both teams go back and forth. Picked up by Estrom. Estrom brings it in. Estrom looks, fires off Winning's glove. Schmidt picks it up on the far side. Reverses course. Brink picks it up, wraps it around. Good tip by Sorensen. Doesn't quite clear the zone. Good defensive effort there. Herbeck had a fine defensive effort to keep the puck in the zone. Willis over to Greer. Reverses course. Tobin sidesteps a nice check there by Schmidt. Tobin with another sidestep. Picks up the puck in the neutral zone. He's got Sorensen. He's got Brink on the far side. Good defensive back check there by DS to create the turnover. Puck shot on net by Krokak. Tipped up high into the netting at 10:16 remaining here in the third period, with the Trojans commanding a 3-0 lead. Bit more back and forth play here in this third period. Cooper Swanson steps in the face-off circle with Manley. Hallman picks it up behind the net. Puck chip loose over to Swanson. Swanson to Bauer Anderson. Bauer Anderson across to Brody Erickson. Erickson dumps it deep. Bauer Anderson picks it up on the far side. Great play by Anderson to pick it up out to Swanson. Swanson can't get the shot off. Puck still loose in the slot. Good pick up there by Dunham. Dunham works his way down the right side. Steered off by Isaac Anderson. Good defensive effort there by Isaac Anderson. Puck's loose in the slot area. Dunham picks up the puck. Works his way around the far perimeter. Hallman chips it wide. Swanson creates the turnover. Hallman tries to chip it free. Can't quite do it, so. Manley picks up the puck in the far corner. Hallman takes a big check by Gilbertson. The Trojans maintain control. Anderson, nice body there to take Krokak off the puck. Manley gets tied up behind the net. Erickson picks it over to Bauer Anderson. Chips it in the neutral zone, but no Hawks there as the Hawks are trying to get a line change. This is brought in by Hagen. Hagen brings it deep. Holman goes high with the check. Jack Schwartz with a battle on the far boards. Good individual effort, creates an exit of the zone. The Trojans will have to reset. Trojans fire it in all the way down. 8:39 remaining here in the third period. Puck's loose in the slot area. Wacker picks up the puck. Hawks can't control it. Highland sidesteps the check. Puck's chipped over to DS. DS works his way over to Schmidt. Schmidt reverses course. Turns, fires on net. Just wide. Back out to DS. DS looks. Dumps it back deep. Isaac Anderson helps battle the goal line. Anderson comes away with the puck. Dumps it up and down. This will be icing. This will give the Hawks an opportunity to go ahead and get a line change. 8:01 remaining here in the third period. Newpreg continues with the forecheck pressure. Brink steps into the face-off with Manley. Sumstead chips the puck loose. Good play by Sumstead. Over to Sorensen. Sorensen looks. Nice saucer pass. Can't quite connect with Tobin. But the puck's tipped, so this will not result in icing. Tobin turns, fires. He's got Brink on the near side. Good defensive effort by 3 Trojans to come back in and pick up the puck as it's dumped down deep below the goal line. Herbeck. Good defensive pressure over to Manley. Puck's brought down. The Hawks maintain control. He's got Brink in the slot. As Sorensen looks, he can't connect with Brink. Wraps it back around Tobin behind the net. As the Hawks finally look to get some offensive pressure, Young steps up, tries to go back to Tobin. Back over to Young. He misses the puck on a bouncing puck. Brink fires from the point. Young steps in, brings it back down to Tobin. Tobin takes a check. Manley chips it free. Estrom chips it high and deep. Sumstead picks it up in the neutral zone. Young drops it all the way down deep. This will create a stoppage in play for icing. That's 6:50 remaining here in the third period with the Trojans with a 3-0 lead. Good defensive effort by both teams here in this third period. Not giving up any real high-quality opportunities. Schmidt steps in the face-off circle with Swanson. Hawks maintain control after the face-off. Anderson chips it over to Swanson. Anderson picks it up in the neutral zone as they look to enter the zone. Anderson moves the puck deep, tries to get a shot on net, just goes wide. Greer steps up to the far side. Pinches, keeps the puck in. Schmitz with a nice turn, avoids a check by Swanson. Good play by Swanson there. He fires. Prokopek. Once again, the puck's loose in front. Prokopek with a nice stoppage in play there on the bouncing puck. Good vision there by Prokopek to make sure he saw that puck, keep it in front of him, prevent any extra opportunities. Cooper Swanson steps into the face-off circle opposite of Schmidt. Face-off controlled by Schmidt. Trojans turn, reverse course. Gilbertson misses the pass. Schmidt again dodges a check by Swanson. As the Trojans exit the zone cleanly. Willis back. Really good effort there by Krokak. To take the puck deep in the zone. Body check by Greer. Puck battle along the far boards. Trojans come out. Schmidt comes out of it. Tries to get the shot on net. Can't quite do so. Swanson picks up the puck. Dumps it all the way down. This is going to be icing with 5:39 remaining here in the third period. Hawks desperately need to get on the board here if they have any chance of climbing back into this one. Starting to put some good offensive pressure, creating turnovers in the offensive zone. Have yet to be able to capitalize on some high-quality shots. Gieske steps into the face-off circle with Manley. Face-off win by Manley. Out to the point. Shot deflected here. Here's Diaz. Shoots it in. Isaac Anderson picks up the puck for the Hawks. Good defensive effort, but the Trojans come away with it. They've got a man open in the slot. Puck bouncing loose. Winnings there for the stoppage in play. Good play by Pehagen to pick up the puck right there at the top of the dot. Get a backhand on net with 5:25 remaining here in the third period. Gieske steps into the face-off circle opposite of Manley. Trojans maintain control. Puck's shot out, back deep. Picked up behind the net there. It's picked up right behind the net. Whacker can't quite clear the zone. It's dumped back deep. Holman picks it up, takes a good check. Schwartz wraps it all the way across. Can't connect with Whacker. Good pickup there right off the post. That was a great shot by Herbeck. Wrapped right off the post. Shot right in front, Winnings with a nice glove save. But a great play by Herbeck on the far side. Step in, take one shot, put it right off the post. Lucky for the Hawks, that went wide. Brink steps into the face-off circle opposite of Schmitz. Schmitz has been An absolute beast on the face-off dot tonight and in the offensive zone. Play right out front, chipped in front. Poshepka looking for his third goal of the game and his hat trick. He scored the first and third goal for the Trojans this evening. Looking to get that hat trick by the end of the night. Brink steps in, opposite of Schmidt. Schmitz. Hawks try to gain control. Schmitz actually does so. He avoids a check by Young. Puck out to the point. Puck dumped in. Puck's loose in the slot. Estrom there. Can't quite connect on getting a shot off. Sorensen. Finally Brink chips it loose, forcing New Prague to go ahead and reset. It'll be an offense. It'll be offsides. As players get tangled here in the offensive zone with 4:17 remaining in the third period. It's been good, solid, clean play here today, folks. With only 2 penalties, one by each team. One in the first period, one in the second period. Caleb Schmidt sets him in the face-off circle with Brecken Brink. Trojans come away with control. Trojans dump it in, bouncing puck behind the net. Young picks it up, wraps it around. Picked up by Voshevska. Voshevska in the corner. Brink. Looks, can't clear the zone. Kept in there on the point by Coutier. Hawks again. Puck's kept in the zone. Schmitz. That might be the ejection for Schmidt. Schmitz got frustrated on a check by Sumstead. Took a baseball whack at Owen Sumstead. Broke his stick. That's the least his parents can do, is pay $300 for a new stick on the slash. We'll see if this was a major penalty offered. It looks like it'll only be a 2-minute slashing penalty with 3:40 remaining. This will be the second power play opportunity for the Hawks. It was a two-handed baseball swing that broke his stick, and he ended up with a 2-minute slash. Brink picks up the puck behind the net. Hawks look out to Sumstead. Sumstead looks over to Young. Young down to the point to Tobin. The Trojans pick up the puck behind the Gilbertson, fires it all the way down. 1:37 remaining in the Hawks power play. 3:14 remaining in the period. Good pass by Young over to Tobin. He's got Brink racing down the middle. Puck was slashed out of his hands as Brink raced down the slot. The stick was slashed out of his hands. No call. 2:50 remaining here in the third period. 1:07 remaining in the Hawks power play. Sumstead steps up, puts a hit on Manley. The Hawks need to keep their wits, enter the zone, try to create a good power play opportunity. Out to Sorensen, dumps it towards the net. Sumstead works his way behind the net. Chipped out, Tobin with a save, he keeps it in. Nice there by Prokopek. Sumstead over to Tobin. Tobin fires it towards the net. Good defensive effort there by Diaz to chip the puck loose. Here's Manley, tries to get down. Good defensive effort there by Willis. Puck behind the net by Sumstead as he wraps it around. 22 seconds remaining on the Chaska power play. 1:59 remaining in the third period. Sorensen steps up, moves his way into the slot. Nice pass over to Cooper Swanson. Swanson with a shot off the side of the net. Turns, fires. Good save there by Prokopek. And the Trojans clear the puck. That'll end the Hawks power play. Willis picks up the puck behind the net. Over to Greer. Greer out to Bauer Anderson. Anderson's got Brody Erickson on the far side. Dumps it towards the net. Puck's loose in front. Brody Erickson just can't quite get there in time. Swanson keeps the puck in the zone. 1:20 remaining here in the third period. Step up play. Nice shot on net there by Dunham. And a nice glove save by Nolan Winnings. Shots are essentially equal here in the third period, with New Prague with 6, the Hawks with 5. Off the face-off, controlled by the Trojans as they chip it towards the net. Winnings there covers up on the loose puck for a stoppage in play with 1:10 remaining here in the third period. Cooper Swanson steps into the face-off circle with Dunham. Face-off win by Dunham. Puck fired towards the net. Willis there picks it up on the near side. Can't quite clear the zone. Play right back out. Hagen couldn't quite get the shot off. Hagen takes a big check. Looks like this will be a penalty on the Hawks with 49 seconds remaining. It'll be a cross-check penalty. .49 seconds remaining here in the third period. On the cross-check penalty by Greer. Face-off win by Brink. Isaac Anderson picks up the puck, dumps it all the way down. Prokopek back. Puck picked up here by Herbeck. Long outlet pass over to Voshepka. I'm sure Voshepka would like to get an opportunity for a hat trick. 28 seconds remaining here in the third period. Good play by Brink to keep the puck in play. Kill some more time off this Trojans power play. Puck brought into the zone. Good, nice move there. Shot high and wide there by Estrom. Puck out to the point. Diaz can't manage to keep it in. The Trojans will have to reset. Shot on net. 2 seconds remain. Puck's dumped deep. That'll end it, folks. New Prague on the road comes in for a 3-0 victory here at the Chaska Community Center. No scoring in that third period. Two penalties. One by New Prague's number 3, Caleb Schmitz, at 3:40 remaining on a slashing penalty. Followed up by a Chaska penalty by Lucas Greer for cross-checking at 49 seconds remaining in the game. Overall, well-played action. Puck control was solid by New Prague throughout. They created 8 shots on net that third period to the Hawks 5, giving New Prague a total of 28 shots on net to Chaska's 14. Good goaltending here by Sam Prokopek as he comes away with the shutout victory. And solid defensive effort there by the Trojans as they finished up a nice road win. That'll wrap her up for us today, folks. We'll see you next time.